Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show today. The Trump team and the GOP are getting so much steam, guys. The FBI major blows to the Democratic Party, not only in all the evidence with the new January 6th pipe bomber being found, but a huge win in the appeals court with Trump being able to fire people. Another win at the Supreme Court as they move forward on changing the birthright citizenship law. This is a huge blow to the Democrats, guys. Oh my goodness, what I love, when you hear this next part, illegal immigration has created essentially a permanent welfare class that costs the taxpayers about $150 billion annually while being technically ineligible for benefits. All that's about to go away, guys, because of the Supreme Court changing the rules, guys. I love this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you love this, hit the thumbs up like button. There's so much money that's about to be saved. This is what we voted for. And not only that, Bongino and Kash Patel have more evidence on the Biden administration, Christopher Wray, all conspiring to hide things and basically go after Trump when they had so much evidence that was being put into burn bags, guys. This is the biggest corruption deep state that we have found yet today. The words that Bongino is saying, he is so livid, guys. But this is what we all knew was happening. Bongino said it on his channel. We've said it on this channel. So much corruption, and they finally are getting down to the bottom of it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is huge. We also have it where Tim Walz is now being investigated. The governor of Minnesota, former VP candidate, is now being investigated for allegedly being complicit in Somali fraud per Stephen Miller, deputy chief of staff, because the numbers for some reason keep climbing. First, they thought it was $250 million in fraud. Then it went to $1 billion in fraud, $2 billion in fraud, and now they say it's over $8 billion in fraud under Tim Walz's watch. I can't wait till they do California to see what's happening with old Gavin Newsom. But not only that, whistleblowers have now confirmed that Ilhan Omar's campaign funneled a massive amount of money to her husband's firm, while Somali-linked networks in Minneapolis ran money into her networks, and everything's connected. Hundreds of millions of dollars stolen. She knew, they benefited, they all tried to cover it up, and now we are exposing them at the highest level, guys. And I got a big bombshell for you right now. The Department of Justice has just discovered that 260,000 dead people were registered to vote across the United States, and many of them did vote. Listen to that, guys. 260,000 dead people registered, tens of thousands voting, as well as thousands of illegal aliens voted. They're cleaning this up. This is all done now. Harmeet Dillon, our Assistant Attorney General, has just cleaned it up. And the Trump administration has just announced that they will expand the travel ban from 18 countries to now more than 30 countries, that you're not allowed to come in anymore. We've got to clean up America. We've got to put people first. Our Americans first, and that's what the Trump administration is doing. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is a big, big show today. I feel like I say this every day, but it is. It's just so much is going on. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers and viewers. Thank you so much for your support. We're so thankful for everybody that supports our channel through your giving, donating. If you're not a part of the family yet, please consider joining our family, hitting that subscribe button. And if you don't mind, hitting the thumbs up like button. It really does help to grow our voice, help us to grow this channel. Thank you so much to everybody that's given. Guys, yesterday, our boy Chris Prez put it out, 150 gifted memberships. Today already, we have so much giving. Jim Barbato, OG of the channel, T-Heavy Guy with 10 gifted memberships. PDX67, Richard with 20 gifted memberships. The Real KRO, guys, Jim Barbato, Robert Cash, show them some love in the chat if you got a free membership from them. And guys, I'm telling you, we've got one more day. This is big, everybody. If you are on Medicare, we got one more day to call in. Don't miss out on your blessing. The door's about to close. Only one more day left. Call them 667-895-3015. There is too many people on this channel that have saved thousands of dollars by calling Chapter. It is a free service to you. Go get your blessing, guys. Let us know in the comments how things went. We're here to serve you with these services. They have gone so far above and beyond to help out our members on this channel, and I want them to help you out. If you are on Medicare in this open enrollment time, there's only one day left, guys. Call them up, 667-895-3015, and I promise you, you'll be blessed. You won't regret it. They've saved thousands, so much people, thousands of dollars every single year in healthcare costs. Don't pay more than you have to, because I'm telling you guys, what I'm about to show you, the corruption is there. We're figuring it all out. And everything is starting to expose that they 100% went after Trump. And we got to clean this up. Listen to this.
One of the lead investigators in Biden's FBI said they couldn't track his phone because the service provider gave them corrupt data. But if the cell data was corrupt, how'd Trump's FBI use it to catch the guy? So 5,000 agents, 4 years, and no one investigated the guy with the bombs. But Trump's team cracked it in less than a year. Bondi said all it took was some elbow grease.
Let me be clear. There was no new tip. There was no new witness. Just good, diligent police work and prosecutorial work, working as a team, along with ATF, Capitol Police, Metropolitan Police Department, and of course, the FBI.
Not only did the Biden FBI botch the case, it doesn't even really look like they investigated it.
Wow.
Remember, Ray dragged his feet before releasing the video.
Will you commit to releasing the full tapes to the public immediately?
No, sir, I can't make that commitment.
Congress needs to subpoena Chris Wray and make him testify under oath immediately
all
about
of
what
them.
did and didn't happen. But for Democrats, obviously it's all Trump's fault.
Looking at this crowd doing a victory lap when all the senior FBI officials across all key divisions have been fired for political purposes. It's a little rich that they're saying the America's safer. How much earlier could we have caught this guy if resources hadn't been diverted?
If resources hadn't been diverted to locking up 80-year-old women who knit sweaters for a living.
Wow.
Yeah, Biden could have caught this guy earlier.
Let me tell you this, everybody. All this corruption is being found out right now. Whistleblowers are coming forth on every single case across the board. Why? Because this stuff, it's not happening anymore. There is so many investigations finding out so much fraud, so much waste, so much abuse. Guys, you can't make this stuff up. Fraud expected could exceed over $8 billion on this governor who not only was, remember they called him Tampon Tim because he put tampons in boys' restrooms. Makes no sense. Boys playing in girls' sports, being a sanctuary city, allowing all these people to come in, live off taxpayer benefits. It's gotten so bad. Look at this right here. Tim Walz is now being investigated for allegedly being complicit in the Somali fraud per Stephen Miller. Every single thing that they lied to us about, that they said wasn't happening, that they said, oh no, this is all made up. This is conspiracy so that they can try to win votes. The Department of Justice has just discovered 260,000 dead people registered to vote across the United States. I thought this wasn't happening. I thought we had clean voter rolls. Guys, everything from the FBI to the January 6th pipe bomber to Tim Walz, the sanctuary city states, we're digging in deep because now is the time. We have the momentum. And now with the momentum that they're moving forward, that is going to change pretty much everything across the board, is the Supreme Court hearing the birthright citizenship case, guys. This is massive right here. This is going to change everything because now that they're going to listen to it, whether they remove it altogether or not, there's changes coming that Stephen Miller said is about to happen. We're going to show you this in a moment. But this is the biggest development to knocking out the Democrats' new voter base because they brought in the people to vote. They allowed the invasion. And now the Supreme Court's involved. Lots of things about to change. I love this. Let me know if you love this. If you do, hit the thumbs up like button. Thank you so much for your support. Guys, give it up for T Heavy Guy with the 10 gifted TrueLife News memberships. Our boy, the real KRO, say let's appreciate the wins. PDX 67. Our boy Richard with 20 gifted TrueLife News memberships. Gene McCready, let's go with another 20 gifted TrueLife News memberships. If you got a free one, show them some love in the chat, everybody. We love it. Thank y'all so much for supporting us. We're dropping this news today because it is so big.
It kind of feels like the media is still working with Biden officials on the case. Because first Jake Tapper says the bomber's white, and now he's MAGA.
This suspect has essentially confessed to planting the bombs, and he's told FBI agents that he is a supporter of Donald Trump.
You can't trust Agent Delaney. He was the deep state's go-to guy on the Russia hoax and the Hunter Biden laptop. In fact, you can't believe anything the media says about this case. They said the feds wouldn't catch him because he was Caucasian.
When you consider how black criminals and Muslim terrorists are treated, both by the legal system and by the media, and yet the January 6th pipe bomber who laid explosives in front of the RNC and DNC headquarters still walks free, we still don't take domestic terrorism of the far-right white variety seriously in this country, do we?
Pretty sure this guy's black. And now they're saying Cole was trying to stop the steal.
In part, we are told that he had accepted the political view of the time in 2020 that the 2020 election had been stolen. That's a view that President Trump has falsely pushed for a number of years.
Okay.
Do you see this, everybody? I love it how the narrative is always going to be that no matter what, it's always Trump's fault. But what I love is, again, I show you the receipts, guys, of what's actually happening. They may blame Trump with everything, but when it comes to the Supreme Court, when it comes to the appeals courts, Trump continues to win. Appeals courts rule in Trump's favor, approving firing of 2 independent agency heads. The D.C. Court of Appeals in a 2-1 ruling found that President Trump acted lawfully in firing 2 members of independent agencies. I thought Trump couldn't do that. I thought Trump didn't have the authority to do that. Guess what? Whatever the left-wing media says, just go ahead. You can bet on it. It's the opposite. This right here just shows you guys, because you're not going to see this on mainstream, but this is what's happening. We're keeping a tally count. Trump is now 26-3 when it comes to the winning 26 times at the Supreme Court or the appeals court and only losing 3 times. And it was over, the times that he lost was over deporting illegal aliens. That one illegal alien, Gilmar Albrego Garcia or something like that. But this just shows you again, Trump has the authority. Trump's putting America first. This is us winning.
The guy began building the bombs in 2019. He bought most of the supplies before the election was stolen. We don't know if this guy was righty, lefty, upside downy, but Judge Jeanine Pirro says he was disappointed in various aspects of the election, but it's not clear whether he supported Trump or Biden. This guy was an equal opportunity bomber, planting bombs at both the RNC and the DNC. And this is interesting. His father retained Ben Crump, otherwise known as Al Sharpton 2.0, when he filed a racial discrimination lawsuit. The dad ran a bail bonds company for illegals and sued the Trump administration, claiming DHS was screwing him out of money. Now, that lawyer is repping his son, and he doesn't even practice criminal law, which is probably why the kid confessed.
Wow.
Something tells me this guy's a little. His grandma called him autistic. He wears shorts in the dead of winter, works part-time for his dad. The bombs didn't even work, and he kept his cell phone on him the whole night. And not only that, he bought all the bomb parts on a credit card. He even waved to a cop car the night he planted the bombs. Sounds like the dumbest bomber in America. And Biden's FBI couldn't even catch him.
Guys, do you see how bad this is? Do you see how it's getting worse for the Biden administration for what they tried to cover up? But we're catching them. We're exposing them. Listen to this, because across the board, guys, every news outlet is literally bringing on more conservative voices because that's what people want to watch. That's what's drawing viewers. This is insane. Listen to this, because no matter if it's Pete Hegseth, January 6th pipe bomber, Catch Patel, Dan Bongino, The truth and MAGA are winning.
Let me just start by saying I don't care, not one bit. Genuinely and wholly do not care about these two men in the boat. We're talking about two people who were clinging to life. How about the thousands of Americans every month that are on the floor in some bathroom clinging to life because of overdoses from drugs that these people brought? These guys are not good guys. But this basically follows the typical Democratic fact pattern. It starts with a fake news story about Pete Hegseth that gets disproven. Right? He didn't actually order them to kill everyone. That's been sort of taken back. And then it goes into the part where Democrats defend the bad guys at the expense of law enforcement and now the American military. This is kind of standard Democratic operations. And if you ask me, I give more of a crap about the Americans who are losing their life every single year to drug overdose than two jerks floating on a boat trying to flip it back over or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Guys, I'm telling you, they are giving a lot of airtime to this. Why? Because every single time that we're exposing all this stuff, the Democrats are losing viewers. They're losing all their support. There's nothing for them to stand on. Ken Paxton moves to shut down Epoch Center after exposing massive illegal development scam. Guys, across the board, it is literally scam after illegal scam after just sham everything. Illegally, listen to this. Developers pitched the scheme as the future epicenter of Islam in North America. Illegally implied Muslim-only access, siphoned investor funds into their own pockets. CCP also failed to verify accredited investor status for more than 10% of buyers. All this stuff, guys, again, are we not dropping these bombs of the truth, across the board? There is so much that is happening. What I love is that as much as Trump has said, and he said a lot of crazy stuff, guys, we've been right. I would say 90+% of the time. And this that's about to go down, guys, whistleblowers have said fraud could exceed over $8 billion. Get ready to see some handcuffs, because that's what Stephen Miller is saying. We're going to show you this in a moment. But everybody's going crazy over all this evidence this week, exposing the fraud, the waste, and the abuse. But we're finally getting some justice put in place. Thank you so much, Ashkenazi Zionist. Let's go. I love it. Show Ashkenazi some love in the chat. Said Somalians in Minnesota are now trying to use Genesis from the Bible to claim that Minnesota was promised to them 3,000 years ago. You got to be kidding me. Y'all show some love in the chat. Jim Barbato, let's go, brother, with the super chat. Show Jim some love in the chat. OG of the channel. Ty Matt Chong, thank you so much, brother, for your 13 months of being a member. Thank you so much, guys. Show some love to T Heavy Guy, PDX67 Richard, Gene McCready. And don't forget to show Chris Press some love for his gifted memberships yesterday. What a blessing. Guys, we're growing our family. We're growing this voice. This stuff right here is literally mind-blowing.
This is unbelievable. I just don't believe Chris Wray. No, because the narrative would have been completely different. If you had had a BLM associated, if you'd had some anarchist, some radical, some left-winger as the pipe bomber, and this is why people, Raheem and Darren Beatty and Julie Kelly, years ago, for those who have been with the show over a number of years, particularly in January of 2021, you know what a big deal this was. The whole narrative would have been changed. You wouldn't have had the prime time J6 committee, which was totally phony. You wouldn't have had any of that. So you can't tell me Chris Wray and these guys, as great as Bongino and Cash are, putting new eyes on it 7 weeks ago and come up with an arrest already when he had the entire FBI, it doesn't hold. It shows you.
And guys, this is the crazy thing. The guy that they caught's already confessed to everything, okay? This just shows you what he's about to say next, how corrupt. They wanted to control the narrative. They wanted to make it seem like the pipe bomber was MAGA and going to destroy the Capitol, and all of this was Trump's fault. Finding out it was all a complete lie.
How corrupt that institution is. And I appreciate John Solomon, but I just think that we got to go in there with a meat axe and just start taking the thing apart. There ought to be some federal law enforcement, but does it need to be the FBI? I wanted just to take the whole thing down and restructure, give the counterterrorism and counterintel piece to DHS, to the Joe Kent and the people who do it there anyway, although that's foreign, just add a domestic element to it. And then just hive it off from the FBI and have some law enforcement associated with U.S. attorneys. I don't think the FBI can be reformed, and I don't think you can do it. It's not about personnel. I just don't believe that. I think institutionally it's too corrupt. We've 100%. Got to get to the bottom of this thing, because so much of the agony of J6 and people going to prison and all the 1,000 people, they destroyed their lives and hounded President Trump. That entire thing would have never happened if you had identified this guy in the first 48 hours. Of course they're not going to do it, because it would totally flip the narrative. And now John Salma says in the next, I guess early next week, we're going to hear about the FBI agents that were there that were warning about Antifa and other people. That will also be a narrative changer for them.
Guys, I love this so much. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, because again, everything that we've seen from all the left wing, all the FBI, CIA, it's all lie. Look at this. The FBI's crime statistics will falsely reflect that white American males attacked subway passenger with a large knife in attempt to commit first-degree murder. Guess what? Guys, they're literally calling pretty much people that look Hispanic or Cuban, they're calling them white. If they look black, they're black or they're Hispanic. Like, stop it. They're calling them white, and they're literally screwing up these crime statistics to try to make it look like white males are the ones that are causing all these issues. This right here, guys, you cannot make this up. This is the stuff that, again, we want to show you what's actually happening behind the scenes of how corrupt our system is, and why you're hearing Bannon say, we just got to clean house. We got to delete, rebuild, because what we have now, there's too much people in there that are the enemy within, that are the deep state, that are trying to skew all the data to make it look horrible, and it's all lie, guys. This is literally screenshots of the reports that are coming out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Gotta get to the bottom of it. Also, the national strategy paper from the White House is out. It's 26 pages long. I want to make sure Grace and Mo get it to everybody. We're going to have, probably tomorrow, I'll have Captain Fennell, hopefully Dr. Thayer, Jack Posobiec. A bunch of us will go through it. It's quite, in fact, I'm going to ask Liz Truss about it. It talks about the fall of European civilization. And quite frankly, the countries in Europe as they exist today may not exist in 30 years. That's pretty important coming from an American strategy paper as they talk about NATO and our alliances, all of it. It's pretty shocking, some of the things, some of the topics in this strategy paper put out officially by the White House. President Trump's strategy is pretty strong. Also gets...
And again, too, guys, we bring you the receipts. All this is pointing down to what Trump's about to do. We got, excuse me, I got this dumb ad. I'm trying to wait for it to go through. All right, right here. This right here, this is part of the new strategy posted by the New York Post. Trump administration will expand travel ban to over 30 countries. Guys, this is nuts. Like, again, I understand. Trump, the Biden administration opened the doors. So many people came in. It has been a nightmare for ICE, for DHS, for a lot of people. We've had innocent Americans lose their lives because of this. But now we're flipping the script. We're going to ban. We're going to make sure that we figure out who's in America, stop the inflow from coming in, and then reassess and go from there. Let me know your thoughts on this, because again, this is big news. Came out this morning, just an hour ago, but this just shows you how serious Trump is about all the changes coming to put America first, guys. And again, we're just getting started. Robert Cash, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Said love conquers all. Amen. Mr. Tracy J. Norby with the super chat. OG of the channel said Chris Perez was after my record. I think he's the OG to the family here. God bless everyone. Me, those who gifted till it hurts so well. Thank you all. Hey, Mr. Norby, brother, you are such a blessing. Y'all show Mr. Norby some love in the chat, as well as Hammer of Justice. Thank you so much. Said Joel, your work ethic is incredible. Thanks for bringing this news every day. Guys, click the like button to help him for free. Thank you, brother. Ty Matt Chong said, hey, Joel, thank you for all your hard work to get the updated news and truths and facts. I'm hoping all the deep states and related needs to be put in jail. South Korea needs help. DJT, deep states controlling Man, we appreciate you so much, Ty, Hammer of Justice, our boy Mr. Norby, Robert Cash, as well as Elizabeth, Ross Watson. Thank you so much for being a member for 8 months. And our boy Jisco with the 5 gifted True Life News memberships. Show him some love in the chat. We've got Gina who just gifted 10 True Life News memberships. Show him some love in the chat if you got a free membership from them. Thank you so much, Jitso G123, Gina, whose tag name is Blessed. Guys, again, we're getting to the deep state. This channel is growing. Our voice is growing. We're exposing them all. Listen to this.
Quick, but then we're going to go back to Brianna. Mike Davis, there's some movement on all things SCOTUS and birthright citizenship. You had a great piece in Fox a few months back, and it seems like that might be coming to fruition, or at least the chance for it to be coming to fruition. Can you walk us through the latest?
Yeah, this is one of the most crucial decisions that the Supreme Court will decide this upcoming term, and it's the issue of birthright citizenship. On January 20th of this year, President Trump's first day in office, he signed an executive order ordering his government to not automatically grant birthright citizenship to people who are born in the United States. That is a misinterpretation of the 14th Amendment. After the Civil War, we had the Civil War amendments, the 13th Amendment to free the slaves, the 14th Amendment to provide equal protection and due process to the freed slaves, and the 15th Amendment to provide voting rights to the freed black male slaves. That was extended to women with the 19th Amendment. But as part of the 14th Amendment, the ratifiers wanted to guarantee birthright citizenship to the children of the freed slaves. So there's the birthright citizenship provision in the 14th Amendment, which says that the children born to people subject to the jurisdiction of the United States have birthright citizenship. And there is a clear legal meaning. If you looked at the text and the original public meaning of subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, that means people who are loyal to the United States. So people, for example, foreign ambassadors' kids do not get birthright citizenship. Foreign armies' kids would not get birthright citizenship. Do we think that foreign terrorist kids would get birthright citizenship? Birthright citizenship did not even apply to the children of American Indians under the 14th Amendment. There is a Supreme Court ruling on that from over 100 years ago. So Congress extended birthright citizenship to the children of American Indians by statute. So you have to answer this dispositive question for the Supreme Court. If American Indians' children did not have birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, why the hell would the children of illegal aliens? They just don't. If Congress wants to extend birthright citizenship to the children of illegal aliens, Congress can do that through statute, like Congress did for American Indians. And so that's going to be the key issue for the Supreme Court to decide, if they decide to actually decide the merits of this case. And the Constitution is clear. The text is clear on subject to the jurisdiction. The original public meaning is clear. And I guess it comes down to whether the Supreme Court has the courage to follow the text and the public meaning, original public meaning of the 14th Amendment.
Let me tell you this, everybody, and it's all boiling down to this and what you're about to see next. Guys, if you appreciate this, you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Native households, illegal immigrant households, legal households. Illegal immigrant households in America get the most welfare benefits out of any other group in America. And then legal immigrants get the second most with overwhelming, so more than half of those are getting all the welfare benefits, okay? And then the lowest is the green, which is U.S. citizens getting welfare benefits. So this just shows you right here, everybody, the people that are coming in, they're putting a lot of weight on the system, and that's what's hurting our system right now. When it comes to Medicare, we have found almost $15 billion in Medicare this year alone in fraud. And that's why, again, everybody, we've got one more day. This makes my heart happy because we've had so many testimonials. We've had so many people that have been blessed. But if you're on Medicare right now, we've got one more day of open enrollment. Don't miss your chance to be blessed. We've had too many people that have saved $2,900 a year in healthcare costs. $2,700 a year in healthcare costs. They save, on average, Chapter does, and this is all free, everybody. It doesn't cost you a dime. All it costs you is just making the phone call, letting them do their things, and you'll be blessed. The number is 667-895-3015. The number's in the description, as well as the website, and the number's at the bottom of the screen. We only got one more day. The door closes. Don't miss your chance to be blessed. Guys, I'm telling you, we've had so many people on this channel that have literally got so much extra money, have literally saved so much money, and that's what it's all about. We're partnering with you to serve you, to make sure that your money is kept in your pockets and you can do the best thing for it, because I'm telling you, we don't need to give it. No, these dang companies, huge healthcare companies, they don't need any more money. They're making a ton of money off the dang Obamacare subsidies coming from our tax dollars. You keep your hard-earned money. Be blessed. Again, the number is 667-895-3015. Only one more day, guys. And it's a free service. Free. Because I'm telling you, listen to this. Everybody in Congress is making some big changes over all the fraud we've just found out.
The businesses, many of which were Somali-owned, which were getting some money to feed the children from Feeding Our Future, the nonprofit that was quarterbacking this whole thing, they weren't giving any of the money to hungry children. They were spending it. These businesses were spending it on yachts and vacations and jewelry and furniture for their home.
God.
That was scheme number one. But it got worse. The second scheme was supposedly to help people who are homeless. Remember, I said in America, when you're homeless, we'll house you. Well, that's what they were trying to do in Minnesota. A nonprofit was set up, again run by someone of Somali ancestry. And this nonprofit went to a bunch of providers who supposedly were going to provide housing. And they told the welfare authorities in Minnesota that they needed millions of dollars to house people who were homeless. And once again, the program started out small. When they started it in 2020, these crooks started it in 2020, they said, we only need $2.6 million. But then in 2021, they said, we need $21 million. And in the following years, they said, we need $42 million the next year. Then $74 million to feed, or rather to house the homeless. Then $104 million a year. Not the total scheme, a year. There's just one problem. None of the money was going for housing. None of the money.
Just think about that, y'all. Everything's about to change with all that you're seeing now, what you're about to see next. Because there's no audits. There was no audits. Remember when Doge was trying to audit the states and audit the federal money? And what did all the Democratic states say? No, you can't do that. You're trying to steal people's data. You're trying to steal people's information. No, they were trying not to be caught. And now look what's about to happen now, coming from Secretary Dr. Oz, over what Tim Walz has to do or else.
It's true. A Somali fraud ring in Minnesota stole over $1 billion from Medicaid. How did this happen? Well, Medicaid programs are run by the states, which in Minnesota means the Tim Walz administration. Governor Walz and the state's other Democrats rely on Somali votes to get elected, so they decided to look the other way because they were afraid of, quote-unquote, political backlash. Don't take my word for it. That's what a Somali American fraud investigator told the New York Times. When these scammers realized that nobody was guarding the cash register, they went gangbusters. One program designed to provide housing stabilization assistance to patients ballooned to $104 million, when 4 years ago it was projected to cost only $2.6 million. Some of these taxpayer funds may have even ended up in the hands of a Somalian terrorist group. Scary stuff. When CMS became aware of the housing program situation, Minnesota insisted it could clean up its own mess. A few months ago, it admitted it could not. So we stepped in to shut down the fraud-infested housing initiative. Today, we're taking action on more than a dozen other programs, which I've outlined in the post below. Our message to Walsh is clear. Either fix this in 60 days or start looking under your couch for spare change, because we are done footing the bill for your incompetence. This administration will never stop fighting to protect the vulnerable Americans who rely on these programs and the taxpayers who fund them. We're going to crush waste, fraud, and abuse.
Guys, when have you ever seen a dang Democrat say this? Guys, this is beautiful. This is what we voted for. This is Trump's admin team, baby. This is the dream team going after the fraud, waste, and abuse because we know it's there. I love it. Let's go, baby. Canaryville Kid, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Show Canaryville Kid some love in the chat, as well as Melinda Johnson for upgrading her membership. Guys, thank y'all so much. And to everybody that's given, guys, memberships today, T-Heavy Guy, Gina, our boy Richard, Gene McCready. Guys, show them some love in the chat. Thank y'all so much for your support. It means the world to us, guys, that you're partnering with us to help in our giving. This is going to be our biggest month of the year in our giving. I'm super excited about it. On the 22nd, this guy right here is going to be giving the biggest amount to the kids. Guys, just making a huge difference. We're catching the fraud, waste, and abuse, and it's about dang time. If Kamala Harris would have won the presidency, none of this would be happening. I promise you.
Was going to help people who were homeless. These providers and this nonprofit that was coordinating it just put the money in their pocket. But there's more.
More.
They came up with a third scheme. This one is, this one makes you want to throw up in a potted plant. This one's centered around autistic children.
Oh my goodness, this is so bad.
Once again, in this third program, a group of providers, supposedly medical providers, got together and they went to the welfare authorities in Minnesota and said, we need money to help autistic children. You say, well, that's a wonderful thing to do. And then these providers, once the welfare department at the state government in Minnesota gave them the okay, they went out and started recruiting autistic children. You say, well, okay, we have to get the word out somehow. But they couldn't find very many autistic children. So they started going to parents in the Somali community and saying, can we call your child autistic?
Wow.
Can we certify that your child is autistic? If you'll let us do that, we'll pay you a bribe. Anywhere from $400 to $1,500 a child.
Golly.
Now, once again, the program, it didn't start big. These were sophisticated crooks. And its leader was a woman by the name of Asha Farban Hassan. She was also in, by the way, on the feeding of the children scam as well. And as best we can tell, they approached parents only in the Somali community. Once again, they couldn't find enough autistic children, so they bribed the many parents in the community, gave them money to certify that their children were autistic. In the first year, they were clever. They only asked for $3 million. The second year, in 2019, they asked for $54 million. Then in 2020, they went up to $77 million. And then in 2021, they really got greedy. They went to $183 million. And in 22, $280 million. And in 2023, $400 million.
God, gee.
All total, in these three fraud schemes, these crooks stole $1 billion of taxpayer money.
How in the world? Again, guys, this is the Democratic regime. They lie, they steal, they cheat. If you appreciate what we're showing you guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, because a lot of this stuff you're not going to see on mainstream media, especially what you're about to see next. Because this is the real deal coming from the people that are actually making all this change happen. When you listen to this, this lady is the Assistant Attorney General of the United States of America. Okay? The fraud that we're showing you, that we're catching, finally we're catching this fraud, everybody, is massive.
Hi, I'm Harmeet Dillon, Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, and I'm here to share an important update about one of my many important duties here at the DOJ, which is enforcing our federal election laws. Here's some facts and figures for you. In the last 8 months, the DOJ has reached out to all 50 states, asking them to share their voter rolls with us so that we can help them comply with the Help America Vote Act, which requires states to maintain clean voter rolls. 4 states complied voluntarily. We sued North Carolina early on, and they are checking the voter records of 100,000 voters who were improperly enrolled on their voter rolls, and they're going to fix their problem voluntarily. We have an agreement in place almost with another dozen states, and I expect very soon we'll be looking at their voter data and comparing it with our records and helping them clean up those voter rolls. Now we have 15 lawsuits pending against 14 states. That's right, California got sued twice, and we are in litigation with them. They're refusing to provide their records, even though many of these states voluntarily.
I'm sorry, y'all, but when you get sued twice, you know you're bad. You know you got some issue. Everybody got sued once. We said, we're going to stick it to California. We're going to sue them twice.
Provide their voter rolls to nonprofit groups like ERIC and even other groups. And so we are going to make sure that we get to the bottom of those, and then we're going to get to the rest of the states. So we're engaged with nearly 30 states. Here's what we found so far. We've checked 47.5 million voter records. We've found 260,000 plus dead people enrolled in the state's voter rolls, which is pretty concerning. They're going to be removed with the help of the DOJ. And finally, that there are several thousand non-citizens who are enrolled to vote in federal elections. This is very concerning. And the DOJ is partnering with local law enforcement where appropriate to prosecute people who have unlawfully voted in our elections. Even one person voting who shouldn't have voted is one too many, because every citizen is entitled to one person, one vote assumption that their vote is being counted equally and only with other American citizens. We will not rest at this DOJ with the leadership of the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, until we complete this project and provide confidence to all American voters that the rolls are clean and the elections are free and fair. Thanks so much.
I'm telling you guys, I show you things you don't see on mainstream media, but this is big. This is going to change a lot of stuff. 260,000 dead people register to vote. Thousands of illegal aliens. Guys, that's enough to make some states go the other way. You know what I'm talking about. And this is Trump cleaning up America. Man, I love this stuff right here, y'all. Sherry Garcia, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said only housing government should be supplied is called prison. Wow. Show Sherry some love in the chat, as well as Robert Cash. Thank you so much, brother. Said the truth will set us free. God is watching. Amen. Thank you so much, Melinda Johnson. Said we could cut the deficit just from getting back all the corruption money. Amen. Show Melinda, Robert, and Sherry some love in the chat, as well as our boy Jim Barbato, OG of the channel. Thank you so much, brother Jim. Marilyn Kaplan, thank you for gifting a TrueLife News membership. Show Marilyn some love, as well as Chip Trap said still having a hard time catching the live show, giving my love to the TrueLife News family. and some cash for the kids. Amen. Guys, I'm telling you, this is so big. The amount of fighting that is happening across the board and what's about to happen with the Supreme Court is going to change everything.
All right, checkmate, Tom Homan. And breaking earlier today, the Supreme Court has agreed now to decide whether President Trump can end birthright citizenship by executive order. Now, that would eliminate a major incentive for illegals to come to the country. Here with reaction, White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Homeland Security Advisor to the President, our friend Stephen Miller is with us. Look, we both know Tom Homan. Tom Homan is the wrong guy to pick a fight with.
Absolutely, Sean. But that's true, by the way, for not just Tom, but for all the heroes of ICE and Border Patrol who are out there every single day, putting their lives on the line to defend this country, to defend our freedom, to defend our way of life. And you have these crazy leftists, these radical pro-illegal alien Democrat demonstrators that are trying to stop ICE and Border Patrol from defending the American people, from defending the American family, and from getting these rapists, killers, pedophiles, and terrorists the hell out of our country, Sean.
All right, what about the Somali fraud scheme that is unfolding before our eyes? One of the things that is being reported on is where that money is going. That could be the most concerning of anything and the connections associated with it. How deep does it go? What has the administration discovered up to now?
Yeah, so based on what we have found so far, we believe that the Somali fraud operation in Minnesota is the single greatest theft of taxpayer dollars through welfare fraud in American history. We believe that we have only scratched the very top of the surface of how deep this goes.
I'm telling you.
And you're familiar with all the scams.
And if you haven't seen it, guys, again, they've already found $1 billion whistleblowers. It could exceed over 8 billion. This is the next level, everybody. You cannot make up how bad this is, and it's from one state. I promise you, you go across all the states, especially the blue ones, I would not doubt it that there's probably $200+ billion in fraud that's been happening to things just like this from the COVID. Maybe even get to half a trillion, because when it came to the COVID money, there was no oversight. They handed it out like it was candy, and this is now the results of it. People came in, they saw the opportunity to steal, and they did it. And don't be naive to think this is not happening in the other states. You appreciate our reporting, guys. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support.
With pretending that children have autism who are not in fact autistic, with pretending to enroll people in food programs when in fact nobody was ever enrolled, and engaging in massive fraud, lying, and theft and grift on a scale we've never seen before in American history. The total bill, the total tab for this is going to be far beyond the numbers we've already seen reported. We believe the state government is fully complicit in this scheme, and we believe that what we are going to uncover is going to shock the American people. Look, based on the records that we already have, and this is a significant undercount, by the way, 75% of the Somali population in Minnesota is on welfare. But that's likely a significant undercount of just how much of a financial burden the Somali refugee population is imposing on this country.
So Governor Walsh was warned by whistleblowers. He was told. You saw the dismissive attitude of the Attorney General. Congresswoman Omar is on defense, but apparently is associated with people, or at least people around her, clearly seem to be involved, not been proven yet, but very defensive at this time. Do you believe all of them, that this will apply to all of them, their lack of concern, the amount of money involved, any possible protection that they offered?
Wow.
Yeah, I think you're going to see all of that, Sean. This scandal is going to rock the core of Minnesota politics and American politics. We are going to be able to show through whether it be willful blindness, whether it be deliberately turning the other way, or whether it be direct knowledge, we are going to show how Democrat politicians, Democrat bureaucracies, Democrat political systems, and the Somali refugee population ripped off the American people, stole countless taxpayer dollars, and engaged in scams that boggle the mind, scams that we can scarcely even conceive of or imagine in their brazenness. This truly underscores the extent to which the Democrat Party has used migration as a weapon against the American people to gain political power at the expense of American citizens, stealing their money, stealing their votes, stealing their sovereignty. This is going to be case in point for the argument that President Trump has made about why we must stop mass third-world migration into this country. It is a tool the Democrat Party has used to rob the American people blind.
Again, that's why, everybody, this ain't no joke. What's happening? Trump administration will expand travel ban to over 30 countries, from DHS Chief Kristi Noem. This is insane, guys. Look at this. He said, earlier this week, the Department of Homeland Security barred 19 countries from partially or entirely sending their citizens to the United States. Now we're expanding that to over 30. And again, it's all because of this right here. All this fraud, all this waste and abuse is because of this right here. You had people that were in positions, unelected bureaucrats. Trump came in, saw how it was, gave them the boot. They went and filed a lawsuit, went to the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, and guess what? Trump won. Trump has the authority to fire these independent agency heads that continue to push all this DEI, immigration, America Last policies, and we are finally cleaning it up. Like, finally, man, this is such a win. I hope you're appreciating this, guys. Nana of 8, Richie, let's go with the super chat. I love it. Show Nana of 8 some love in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much for your support. And don't forget to show Gina, Gene McCready, Richard, our boy T Heavy Guy, excuse me, for their gifted memberships today. If you got a free membership from them, show them some love in the chat. Because again, a lot of overhaul is coming to every single welfare program out there, whether it's EBT, SNAP, Medicaid, Medicare, all the, if it's being funded by a taxpayer and given out, a lot of changes coming. Listen to this.
Joining us live now, House Financial Services Committee member, Wisconsin Congressman Brian Stile. Congressman, it's fantastic to see you. The only way that you can control this fraud when you have these left-wing lunatics running these states and localities is starving the beast. And the one
Right
big
there.
beautiful bill did at least take some steps to do that very thing, modest reforms. States have to verify Medicaid eligibility twice a year. States are on the hook for the share of improper food stamp payments. What else?
Well, this right there, everybody. By 2034, we're going to be saving $185 billion just by a ton of ineligible enrollees. Every single time we do something like this, we keep lowering the deficit, we keep saving the taxpayer dollars, and we keep putting America first.
This is what the problem is we have individuals that are unethical, engage in illegal behaviors like we are seeing here in the state of Minnesota. We also have to recognize that the underlying programs are susceptible to this type of abuse. The reforms that we made in the One Big Beautiful Bill takes significant steps to prevent this type of abuse from occurring in the first place. It makes the states have some skin in the game as it relates to food stamps. We should be a generous country, but we should be watching how every tax dollar is spent. And when you see this type of illegal and unethical behavior, those individuals need to be held to the fullest extent of the law.
See, Dagan, that's what Wisconsin Smart looks like. I went to Marquette, so I understand it. What can the state of Wisconsin or other states learn from what's happening in Minnesota? I have to imagine that everybody's looking under every cover, trying to make sure they're not the next Minnesota.
The simplest example is do not elect a unified Democratic government in your state. We always say, don't Minnesota my Wisconsin. What you don't want is a group of Democrats who are committed to just simply getting money out the door. Democrats often measure the success of their welfare programs by how much they're spending, not by the end results. If the metrics were put in place to determine, are we actually lowering poverty? Are we improving children's education? Are less children hungry? It would have been obvious that this money was being wasted. But instead, the Democrats in Minnesota were measuring their programs by how much money was being spent. So they were saying, aha, we spent $100 million last year, and this year we spent $200 million. We're doing twice as well.
Wow.
Conservatives want to measure the programs by their outputs, not by their inputs. We have an opportunity here to make significant reforms on the programs to prevent this type of abuse, but we also need to make a lesson of everyone across this country that thinks that they are going to steal taxpayer dollars by abusing these programs, by holding these individuals accountable and making sure that they are spending time in prison thinking about what they were doing to the American taxpayer.
All right. You heard it. This is what everybody's alluding to now, is that prison time is coming. Prison time. This is a congressional leader over the finance in Congress, guys. All this stuff that we're showing you is that little by little, we're getting to a point of narrowing in. We're beating the left-wing narrative. We're showing the truth. And this is 100% what's going to put America first. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because again, I'm showing you what these congressional leaders are saying. There's a lot of stuff happening in the background.
I'm behind bars and the Who Scout. That sends one heck of a message. I'm going to seed this topic. This is about the ban on stock trading by people in Congress, because Marcus is even more fired up than I am about it. Because I haven't owned individual securities of any kind since I became a professional 30 some odd years ago. And there's no hardship in not being able to trade stocks.
Yeah, so just as a reminder, right, any public company has a board and officers that are prohibited because they have material non-public information. What would be a reason that any congressperson would not want to sign the petition to ban people from trading stocks? What would be a reason they would not want to do it?
I chair the Committee on House Administration, and we are taking this up. We had a hearing on this exact topic just a couple weeks ago, and I'm of the belief that we can introduce legislation that can not only garner some support, but can actually pass the House and be signed into law.
What's wrong with the discharge petition that's in front of you today?
I'm fine if we go that route, but I think we actually have an opportunity to tighten it down further. I think we have an opportunity for full disclosure in the trades. A lot of the misinformation and some of the correct information about what is wrong with Congress is the fact that these reports are done in increments. If we give actual factual information to the American people about trades outside of individual stocks, I think we have a huge opportunity. When we look at the public company and public company sector that are preventing the abuse of individuals from gaining profits from insider information, I think we could reform the system dramatically in the House of Representatives.
Yeah, so I would imagine that your debate, if you were debating, let's say Dagan was opposed to signing it, your argument would be, we have information that other people don't necessarily have. It's not a fair fight. Would that be a good start?
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable take. What we want to do is make sure that we're still in a position to bring people into Congress who have successful business backgrounds, prevent them from trading and profiting off of insider information, prevent them from day trading. I'm of the belief if you want to make a living trading stocks, there's a place for that, and it's called Wall Street, not Capitol Hill. And so we have an opportunity to prevent members of Congress, elected officials, from profiting off of insider information and building back the trust in Congress.
Because yesterday I was on Maria's show, and I had a congressman from Arkansas that said he would not be in support. A Republican congressman said, I would not be in support of signing the document because I need to be able to make a living.
What?
This is the same guy, remember, the guy that says, I need to make a living, who's making $180,000 a year plus stipends, housing, and all this stuff. Guys, it is insane. Again, we are showing you it's on both sides. The corruption is on both sides. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. But this is, again, too, no matter what, draining the swamp, exposing them all. We call them out on both sides. It doesn't matter if you're red. It doesn't matter if you're blue. What matters is, are you America first? If you're America first, and if you're a we serve, we the people, it's a completely different story. Jim Barbado, let's go, brother, with the super chat. I love it. Show Jim some love in the chat, everybody. OG of the family is what our boy Robert Cash said, forgiveness brings healing. Amen, brother. And thank you so much. Camp Goer 1 said, FYI, the new Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva has already interfered with ICE deportations in Tucson, Arizona on video. Merry Christmas to the kiddos. Amen. Show Camp Goer 1, Jim, and Robert Cash some love in the chat, everybody.
I think it's less about, no one should be profiting off of insider information, period, full stop. And I think we have an opportunity to reform the laws in the House of Representatives and the United States Senate to make sure that that's the case, to prevent individuals from day trading stocks, profiting off of insider information. And I think there's an opportunity to not just have that legislation gain public notoriety, but to actually take this legislation and get it all the way across the floor of the United States House of Representatives. I've been working with my colleagues to do just that.
The former congressman from Wisconsin, now Secretary of Transportation, and my former co-anchor, always argued that the rank and file in Congress don't have access to material non-public information, that they have access to what is already in the public sphere, and it is a burden. He would argue, but bigger picture, if the American people want this, how quickly can you ban it?
Well, I think we could be there in the weeks ahead. I think there's an opportunity, but even if that argument is true, that representatives don't have technical inside information, the appearance of impropriety is so important to prevent.
I concur.
I'm glad to know you.
Let me tell you this, everybody. The videos keep coming out. This is from Breitbart News, just came out. The Democrats need to be held accountable for what you're about to hear. When you're inciting violence against ICE, DHS, things like that, this cannot go without any accountability. Listen to this.
Hi, everyone. It's Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib. I'm here at North Lake Detention Center. It's in Baldwin, Michigan, which is 3.5 hours outside of Detroit. We've gotten a number of complaints from family members, legal advocates, community members about the conditions of the facility. So I came here to do my job of oversight. And I'm here again to make sure that all of you know that we're going to hold them accountable, that we're going to make sure the conditions are safe, and that everyone's rights are protected. And I also was able to visit my 19-year-old resident that got placed here all the way from the city of Detroit. Not only for him, but for many of our families. We're going to make sure we push back against ICE, get them off our streets, and keep our families together.
Keep our families together, really. Keep our families together. Isn't this insane how she says, we heard that this is happening and this is happening. But then when you actually go, did you see anything that was bad? Did they actually show you anything that was bad?
Audio.
No, because it's all a lie. It's all gaslighting. That's why even what you're seeing on the screen right here, Ellison linked to $250 million Somali fraud ring. As Walsh faces federal probe, the House oversight records show that Attorney General Keith Ellison met with figures tied to $250 million feeding our future scam and offered them help, then took campaign donations from them. Everybody that's linked to this, fired, fines, some form of jail time. Because this ain't, that we're not talking about $1,000. We're talking about billions with a B. Veronica Miskey, let's go. Thank you so much for the super chat. Show Veronica some love in the chat, everybody. This is why, again, every single time that we show you these things, it is 1 point closer, everybody, to cleaning out America, cleaning out the fraud. Trump is getting so serious about our immigration. Look at this. U.S. Border Patrol to charge illegal migrants with a $5,000 apprehension fee. You want to come to the United States, you want to try to enter in illegally and do it the wrong way, guess what? You get slapped with a fine. We're getting to the point where enough is enough. Too much fraud, too much waste, too much abuse. This is the only way that you start deterring people. You start making sure that people from the get-go stop trying to come in illegally into the United States. Do it the dang right way. But again, guys, all this stuff only is happening because of President Donald J. Trump. And now that the Supreme Court is going to be hearing the birthright order, lots of stuff's about to change. I've heard two things that are leaked out that are about to happen. Either they go for a full wipeout of the birthright order has been misconstrued, it's not right, you cannot just come here and illegally and have a kid and automatically then be a citizen. That's one way. The other way is going to be that they have to go through a process of, if you are here illegally and you do have a child that is born, that you could potentially lose your child, and then that child be put into like the system, foster care, all that stuff. So lots of stuff's about to change, everybody. But this is, again, Trump's putting America first. Also, guys, just make sure you keep the chat clean. I don't want any cussing in the chat. If you do, I will block you. And the reason being is because we're creating a family-friendly channel. Thank you so much, Deborah Myers, for the super chat. Said, please get some zinc and vitamin D to get over that cough. I had the same thing you have. It works. My doctor told me, and I did it. It worked. I'm trying. I got some. I do got some vitamin C, but I'll get some zinc, some vitamin D. Just want to say that, guys, everybody, thank you so much to everybody who's watching. If you're watching, you're not part of the family yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button, joining our family so we can take care of you every day with the breaking news. Thank you to everybody that supports us through liking our videos, sharing on X, on Facebook. It means the world to us, guys. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up like button. And remember, we've got one more day, everybody. Open enrollment for Medicare is about to end. You can still call them. You can still call this number. It's a free service to you. Don't miss out on this blessing. So many people have been blessed. So many people have gotten so much help, saving thousands of dollars a year in their healthcare costs. We've had people that have gotten over $1,000 in additional benefits, stipends for like gas, electricity, things like that. And it's free to you. If it's open enrollment time, we've got one more day. And the phones, and just call them up, guys, because I promise you, you will be blessed. The number is 667-895-3015. The number's in the description as well as the bottom of the screen. And again, everybody, thank you to everybody who's given today, especially his free membership, guys. Give it up to T Heavy Guy, who gave 10 free TrueLife News memberships. Show T Heavy Guy some love in the chat, as well as our boy Richard with the 20 gifted TrueLife News memberships. PDX67, thank you so much to Gene McCready with the 20 gifted TrueLife News memberships. Show Gene some love in the chat, everybody. Also, don't forget our boy Jitso G123. Show him some love. Gina, thank you so much for the 10 gifted TrueLife News memberships, as well as Marilyn Kaplan for the gifted membership. If you got a free membership from them, show them some love in the chat. Thank you so much. The Real KRO said, let's appreciate the wins. Amen. Jim Barbato, OG of the channel. Show Jim some love in the chat. Robert Cash, Ashkenazi Zionist, thank you so much. Ty Matt Chong, thank you so much to our boy, Mr. Tracy J. Norby, OG of the family. Guys, what a great guy. Hammer of Justice, thank you so much. Said, Joel, your work ethic is incredible. Thank you so much, brother. Ty Matt Chong, thank you so much for your faithfulness. Elizabeth Ross Watson, thank you so much. Canaryville Kid, Melinda Johnson, Sherry Garcia, thank you so much to Chip Trap with the super chat. Nana of 8, Richie, thank you so much to Camp Goer 1, Veronica Miskey, Deborah Myers. Show them some love in the chat, guys. Thank you so much for sharing our videos on X, on Facebook, liking our videos. We're here to serve you every day with the breaking news. Thank you so much, Grandma J, for upgrading your membership. Show Grandma J some love in the chat. This is beautiful. On the 22nd of this month, our biggest donation of the year, I promise you, you're going to be like, dang, it's a big one, y'all. I love it. We're partnering with you to help these kids out, give, and just make a difference. We love you, appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.